Welcome back to the channel, guys.
I wasn't ready.
I'm trying to save a little bit of money this month. What are some ways you might cut back?
Oof, good question. Couldn't part with a Ferrari. It's the everyday commuter. And the girlfriend just wouldn't let me sell the house on Lake Como.
Boy, if you don't get...
And I couldn't part with the private chef. He just got down my dietary restrictions to a T.
How much money are you making these days?
100K?
I think we're going to need to sit down and make a budget for you.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm your bro, Ryan.
And I'm your bro, Taylor.
As engineers, we love to overanalyze the numbers. And what we've done today is we've overanalyzed and budgeted a $100,000 salary.
Now, we structured this budget as if we were doing it for the very first time. So we listed out our income, our monthly expenses, and kind of figured out where we actually stand currently. But eventually you want to get to a point where you've kind of flipped the script. You're paying yourself first, investing towards your future, and you're reallocating whatever funds you have left over to cover your wants and needs and things like that.
So let's start by breaking down the salary. So as we stated earlier, we have a $100,000 salary. Monthly, that's about $8,333. And let's say even though we're new to budgeting, we're at least doing the right thing and getting that company match by putting 5% towards a 401k. And a 401k is pre-tax, so that's $417 roughly. Then we're also opting into our company provided insurance of about $125, so that's also pre-tax. Then take out your federal and state taxes. We base this on the state of Georgia, so our taxes are roughly $1,959. So what we have left after all of those things is our monthly take-home pay of $5,832.
Now the next logical step, now that we have our income listed, is listing out our expenses. So let's start with the ones that are more set in stone. Things like our rent, which we're going to say is about $2,200. Our utilities, which we're saying averages around $250. Our car payment plus insurance, around $900. Our average gas per month, which is about $120. Our cell phone, which costs us $75, and then our average monthly grocery bill running around $300. All those expenses add up to $3,845, which leaves us with $1,987 left to play with.
Now that we figured out our income, we figured out our fixed expenses, let's go take a look at some of our variable expenses we might have. So starting out with subscriptions. That could be anything from Netflix to Spotify to Hulu to HelloFresh. Then we have, say, $185 to spend a month in dining out, $35 a month towards clothes, $25 a month towards self-care, $40 a month towards the gym. And then we're not crazy, so we're going to leave ourselves $150 a month just guilt-free spending. It can be on shoes we like, it can be on whatever we want. Now that total adds up to $520 of variable expenses. And there can be many more things in that category, but these are ones you'll see on a lot of people's budget. So after the set and variable expenses, we have $1,467 left to spend. Roughly 25% left of that initial take-home pay.
Now, rounding it out, and I know this is going to be a difficult number to nail down because it varies so widely. You know, some people who have student loan payments, some people have credit card payments, some people have personal loans. So we just put an average here of $300 a month you're applying to a monthly debt of some kind. Now you subtract that out and we're left with $1,167, or roughly 20% of our initial take-home pay.
Now we have that left, so we are going to invest in our future. We're going to open that Roth IRA and we're going to max it out with $625 a month. And now we still have $542 left that we are going to put towards saving towards an emergency fund. You know how much we push for an emergency fund because even though it's classified as an emergency fund, once you have that fund set up and fully funded, emergencies are way less of a deal. You don't have to worry about them as much. A car breaks down, you have nothing saved, you're in trouble. A car breaks down, you have a ton saved. Not that big a deal.
Yeah, I mean, you increasing your salary doesn't mean the chances of you having an emergency suddenly decreases, okay? They happen all the time to anybody, anywhere you are, so it is a very important thing to have. Now, once you've saved enough to cover 3 to 6 months of your expenses, then you can just reallocate these to future investments. So we don't want to just allocate this to fund money. I mean, you can take a little bit, maybe splurge a little bit here and there, but we're not simply going to move this all into our fund budget necessarily. So, like we said, I know this is structured a bit more towards someone who's doing it for the first time. If you'd like us to go over what the next step would be and how you're restructuring the budget to pay yourself first and invest towards your future in a more planned, specific way, please let us know down in the comments. We love hearing from you guys. If this was helpful, please let us know. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video, and be sure to stay tuned for next week.
Stop wasting money on that dumb shit and instead put it in investment. I know it's tempting. You'll spend it and be broke again.